What's good, fam? It's been a while. Yes, it has. Uh, Thank you to everyone who has been in prayer with me. Back is much better. I had a beautiful birthday. Had a wonderful Christmas. Everything was great. Uh, I cannot, I can't complain at all. If you are new to the show, welcome to the Sweet Life Podcast, where I sweeten up your life with some tips, tricks, hacks, recipes for busy cooks. Just recently, I put several videos up about traveling, and I've got another one coming. More of a reason why you need to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you can be notified when my travel videos post, as well as I have a couple of fitness tips and tricks as well. So, if you're also new, you don't know, but at the top of the show, I always do a toast. And tonight, I am drinking on some sparkling water. Nothing fancy. I guess it is fancy because it's sparkling. But it's been a dry month, with the exception of my birthday weekend. So tonight I am drinking on sparkling water. Tonight's toast. Tonight's toast is going to be still good. And when I say still good, meaning that despite everything that is going on around us, everything is still good. Cheers. So, a lot has happened since the last time I came live. And I mean a lot. Uh, it's, I don't know. Sometimes I just wonder what the Lord is saying when he looks down at us. Because he has got to be shaking his head. But now let's do the segment of show and tell. Uh, the show and tell for tonight is my wonderful microabrasion powder scrub that from Dermalogica. I love this stuff. Now I've put a link to it in the description. I'm sorry, y'all. I do not have it on me. It's in my bathroom. It was a long night, hence the reason why we are on colored people time, because I waited till the last minute. More or less, I forgot actually that the kids were celebrating the 100th day of school. And for those who don't have any children, the 100th day of school, they usually wear like a shirt or something that says 100 days and like put a whole bunch, 100 different items on the shirt. Or you can dress up like an old person. So waited till the ninth hour and we were up till 9 o'clock trying to get these shirts. Make sure you check out my IG story so you can see how my girls' shirts turned out. I think I like them. They turned out pretty cute, especially for last minute. But anyway, my show and tell is the Dermalogica microabrasion wash. I love this stuff. It is on the pricier side, I will admit. But at the same time, you get a bang for your buck because you only need like a teaspoon. I utilize it once a week, but it's kind of like sand that you're just rubbing, like a sugar scrub that you're rubbing on your face. It is magical. I I promise you my face looks brighter. It's much smoother. It's like what is the words I'm looking for? It There's no like rough spots on my face. It's just, I love it. And hopefully you will love it too. Let me know. Try it out. I've got the 2.6 ounces, but there's also a zero point 0.4 ounce that you can use and try out. Like I said, I only use it once a week, and mine's lasts maybe 6, 7 months. I don't know. Go and try it out. Let me know what you think. Y'all, it's a lot going on in the current events. On a happier note, I don't know if y'all have started watching. My mother told me to start watching this, and you get leery sometimes when your parents tell you, "Oh, you should watch this show." Well, I watched it, and I like it. Like I'm learning a lot. If you have not seen it, I implore you all to go and watch at least the parents or the parents to be parent test. Here's a quick snippet that will introduce you to it.
Welcome to The Parent Test, the search for today's greatest parenting style. Yes, we are that insane to do that on TV. I'm Allie Wentworth, and I'm the host of The Parent Test.
My name's Dr. Adolph Brown III. I'm a parent expert and coach on the show.
Yay! 12 parents invited us into their homes to allow us to film how they parent.
We're helicopter parents.
We have a new age approach.
Our strategy is intensive parenting style.
And then there are tests that look at critical skills integral to parenting to see how that particular parent style did.
I want to encourage you to try it.
Nope. Mama said that it was okay. You can obviously see the love. I wish I had a dad like that.
You should see us cook, though.
Join us as we put each technique to the test.
Now that looks like, it looks a little corny. Yes, I will admit. But there is so much that you can learn from this. Like what is the best method to engage your child, to push them to what we know as their parents to be their best. I love the show. I'm kind of hooked on it right now. I am getting ready to try and finish it up whenever I have time, which who knows when that's gonna be. But I really like the show. Let me know, what do you think of The Parent Test? And if you actually resonate, if any of those parenting types are you, and which one? Interested to know. On another note, sadder note, y'all, I thought I had seen and heard it all, but after hearing about Tyree Nichols, I refused to watch the video. I cannot sit and watch it. I would probably feel really sick to my stomach to see what they did to that poor boy. It's hard to even think about it. More or less watch it. I think about my brother, my cousins, my friends, and had that have been them. And what makes me even more upset is that the people the primary people that were involved looked like him. And it's like we as a community take one step forward and two steps back. I'm lost for words. I can't even imagine what it was like to find out that your son was brutally beat by police officers, and police officers that look like you. It's very disturbing. And I pray that something good comes from this mess, because it's truly a mess. And I pray that all those involved directly as well as indirectly have their day in court. To take a young man's life over what is rumored to be over a woman. Even so, that is no reason for someone to take someone else's life, let alone beat the po' boy. It's just disturbing. I have no other words for it. It's just disturbing. And I pray for all those involved, because not only is Tyree Nichols' family, friends, loved ones affected by this, but those involved, those officers, their families, man, can you imagine? I'm sure they're getting all kind of threats. Yeah, y'all, let's keep them in prayer. It's a lot. It's a lot. Let's move. I also want to thank Champion for sponsoring tonight's show. Make sure you check out the link in the description, because you have a special discount when you utilize the link. I know you guys are familiar with Champion. Champion's hoodies are, man, magical. Like, thick, comfy, well built, quality brand. Make sure y'all check out Champion. All right, we are on to tonight's topic. Passport bros. Now, I'm gonna see here, shoot this link. So if anyone wants to join, they can go ahead and join me and let me know what your thoughts are. This is a very interesting topic and has actually been from my understanding, reading Yahoo has estimated that hashtag passport bros has been utilized over 10,000 times. For those of you who do not know what a passport bro is, passport bro, it began as a way for Black men to advise other Black men where they could find traditional women in other countries. So a lot of Black men are frustrated with the women, the pool of women here in the US, and have made many comments that the women are super feminist, very masculine. They don't know how to cook, don't know how to clean. They are not nice. And so they choose to go east and south. I think Brazil is a very popular country where they can meet women that are traditional. A lot of people are talking about this right now. Primarily what ended up happening is there's a young man who is kind of one of the first passport bros, and he was living in Brazil. He made a video about the women, made a few comments. A young lady took those comments and ran with them, along with the local media. And it's my understanding that he was in fear of his life. So he decided he had a trip planned to Thailand. And so he decided to go ahead and head over to Thailand early to avoid the drama. But from my understanding, Passport Bros has been around for, think about 4 years. And there's a lot of people that have a lot to say about Passport Bros. Let's take a look at what some of the men are saying.
Port Bros.
I do not feel slimy and disgusting as a person, knowing full well that you are going to another country seeking out women that you perceive as easier to manipulate, easier to control, and easier to take advantage of. And even if you do find some poor woman that needs a green card, wants to move to the US, or, needs money, that's still not love. So on that note, safe travels, and I hope that you and all the other Passport Bros get exactly what you're looking for.
I understand where these men are coming from and why they are choosing to step away from the modern Western female, because the modern Western female doesn't know how to be a wife anymore. They don't know how to be submissive. They're typically very hyper masculine. I don't need a man.
When you say hyper masculine, what do you mean?
Go through life without interacting with men. That sounds like paradise.
If you a masculine man and you in your purpose, you don't want to deal with that. You want to deal with competition.
You want a submissive woman.
Not even submissive. I just want the yin to my yang. You feel me? The one thing a man wants the most in the house or in a relationship is peace.
I have another one as well, and this is actually coming from a woman. Let's check this one out.
South America, and it's like, why is he doing that or whatever? People do things for a reason, and his reason is, I don't feel like I'm getting what I need here. Now, women will argue that it's because, no, you can't handle a woman here, or you can't handle being with, what is it, like a boss lady, or whatever people are calling themselves nowadays. You can't handle that. You should learn how to be more of a man to be with a woman like myself, right? That's what women will say. But at the end of the day, men are leaving because they feel lack. They feel like they're not getting that. And I think that's where women, this is the controversy that's starting to piss them off, because they're just like, why are you doing that? What is even the purpose of that?
So essentially, the Passport Bros are saying that they are leaving the US, finding women outside of the US that are more traditional, because the women here in the US are lacking. I guess I would constitute myself a traditional woman in a modern world. And I find that hard to believe, yet that you can't find anyone that would be your, as shout out to OG podcast, GOAT podcast, that you be your yin to your yang. And he stated he didn't want a submissive woman, but someone that would be able to give him peace. It's billions of people in this world. And who knows how many women, I should look that up, how many women there are here in the U.S. But you can't find one? Man, and I hate that these men, young men at that, are giving up on us. And so it makes me question, why are men going outside the U.S.? Is it that hard to find a traditional woman here in the U.S.? And I have one more clip for you guys. And this clip is from Isaiah, the Isaiah Factor Uncensored. Shout out to Isaiah here in H-Town. And he had the opportunity to film or to interview one of the, I guess, original Passport Bros. And this is what he had to say about why he is looking elsewhere for a young woman. This is very interesting.
Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. As we mentioned last night, the controversial community of Passport Bros continues to grow around the country. There's a private Facebook group with more than 10,000 members. Now, the group is known for a bit more than just traveling. Some guys make it their mission to fly around the world, meet more submissive women, and have sex. They are facing a lot of criticism, too. Now, that's from those who critique them. My next guest, Austin Holman, said he had to end a trip in Brazil early after he was accused of being one of those guys who said Brazilian women are easy to get. We talked to him today.
Austin, what kind of damn trouble did you get yourself into with these Brazilian women?
Well, actually, I wasn't trying to start any trouble. I actually thought I was doing a lot of promoting. But apparently some things were lost. Some things were purposely lost in translation on purpose. And that it's led to death threats, you know, and I was already on my way to Thailand anyway. I was going to be in Sao Paulo for about a week. But based off the way how things were going, I just said, you know what, I probably ought to head out 3 or 4 days earlier. So I'm over here now.
So I saw a part of your video where you said, and you clarified, you said some Brazilian women are easy. It depends on who you are, how you approach them, not as a robot, but as an individual. And when they heard that, they just went bonkers over those comments when you said that Brazilian women are easy. Some Brazilian women are easy to get. So why did you say that? Is that reality for you when you're there? Is it easier for you to get Brazilian women than, say, American women?
Yes, the culture is completely different there. So women are a lot more responsive. It's a lot more reasonable dealing with women, if you ask me. There's games everywhere, but there is such a minimal level in Brazil, it's almost unnoticeable. But the reason I said easier, and the thing is, the reason a lot of those Brazilians are in like an outrage is because number one, they're going off, they're just running. It's just like January 6th, right? Trump says do this, everybody runs and does it. That's the same thing they're doing right now. Without watching the video, without understanding what the title actually is, because the title is a question. The title says, are Brazilian women easy? That's the topic. This is what we're going to talk about. The first statement I made is, in general, they're easy to deal with. I didn't say anything about sex. I did eventually later on in the video, but I didn't lead with that because that's not all that was about. I would not move to another country and get online and call the women easy.
Did you?
Y'all, there have been a lot of comments, particularly from Black women. They are very upset about this. And understandably, I think instead of bashing, we need to figure out why. We need to understand what we as women need to do to keep them in our community. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it's not always the woman's fault. No, I'm not saying that at all. But in any relationship, we always have to come back and ask the question, what is it that I am doing wrong? What did I do wrong? Because I wasn't perfect in the relationship. And neither are they. No one's perfect. And so I think we, instead of harping on and bashing people, whether they are for passport bros or against them, we really need to sit down and think, what can we do? What can we do to make, I guess, fill that gap that the passport bros saying is lacking? What do we need to do to make ourselves more desirable? And man, they are clearly spelling out what it is that they feel the U.S. women are lacking. And I'm sure you guys have heard this all the time, that we need to cook, that we need to we need to be more submissive. And you know, I did a whole live stream about being submissive and what it means, especially being married, what it means to be submissive. And I think, honestly, it's a word that we have taken and just made it negative. But make sure y'all check out that live that I did. I gave you a lot of nuggets, I believe, on and lessons learned from, you know, my perspective in my marriage. And going back to what the passport bros are saying, is that they want a traditional woman. And I get they want a traditional woman, but we also have to understand that we are living in more modern times. We are living in a more modern world, society, that now, at least here in the US, most households require 2 incomes. And with that, you have a family to take care of, along with trying to financially provide. So the traditional aspect is not so traditional, because when we talk about traditional, we're talking about where the woman stayed at home and cared for the home, took care of the home. But now we are in a world where most households cannot survive with just 1 income. And therefore that requires you to have a traditional woman with a modern twist. And so you've got to come and you have to compromise. And I believe you shouldn't have to compromise on everything. But I do believe that there are some things that is just not worth fighting. You're not going to get a perfect person. There are going to be some things that if you have a list that this person is not going to be able to fulfill. But if they're able to fulfill the majority of that, why not get to know that person? Why not open your mind? It's funny, I call a lot of the younger generation the microwave generation, because I feel as if that they want everything right now, that they want this traditional woman now. And I'll be honest, I was a modern woman. I wouldn't say I was a complete feminist, but I had some feminist traits about me. But it took a couple of years for me to actually mature into this woman, this wife, this mother that I am today. And so I see a lot of these young guys dating and expecting this woman to be so traditional, when I believe there should be some room for growth. Now, I also believe that you know what you know. And what I mean by that is, you know if that person is going to grow into becoming a more mature, more traditional woman, and you know those who are not. Now, I also believe that we as a community do not value marriage, we don't value men, and we don't value the woman like we should. I think that is also a downfall. And I would really want us all to come together. And in our live stream I had with a couple of the Fresh Out podcast guys, come and we agree. We're ready to come to the table. The men are ready to come to the table, and let's work this out. The Passport Bros, #Passport Bros, it is so dividing us. It's just attributing to the destruction of the family. And so before we pass judgment, before we make these harsh decisions about what Passport Bro is, what it's not, man, let's just open our ears. Let's just talk about it. Let's come to the table, because this Passport Bro stuff is dividing the men and the women. I don't know. Let me know. What are your thoughts? Do you believe that the Passport Bro is making women appear more undesirable? And is Passport Bro something that you wouldn't mind doing? Maybe Passport Gal, Passport Girl. I don't know. Let me know. What are your thoughts on Passport Bro? And how can we get to a point where we can come together and, man, just squash this, bring our community back? I don't know. Comment below. I want to thank everybody who stepped in today. Thank you. Again, it is good to be back. I will see you all later next week. We are going to start back with the weekly live streams. I've got more more videos to give you guys. And if you feel like you want to help a sister out, you feel free to go ahead and shoot over with the Cash App. Cash App Texas Brown Sugar. I love you guys. Let me know your thoughts on Passport Bros. Make sure you share this. Share it with someone who's not familiar with the Passport Bros. Help educate them on the Passport Bros. And I will see you guys later.